Okay, I am back for part two. Um, I left off, we were about 5 minutes, we were driving, we forgot our papers, and we had to go back and get them, and then about 5 minutes back into our drive, I started vomiting. I threw up my breakfast, and I was kind of scared at that point because I'm terrified of needles. Like, I still bawl my eyes out every time I get my blood drawn, just because it makes me feel violated. Like, it just scares me a lot to have a needle poke through my skin. So I was like, I really, really, really need to drink water and keep water down if I don't want to get an IV and I don't want to get dehydrated. So I tried to drink some water. It's about a 45-minute drive from our house to the hospital. So we finally got there, and I wasn't able to walk inside, so my husband got me a wheelchair. They wheeled me in, told them about my contractions, and they were like, holy cow, like a minute apart, like you might not even get a break, like we don't really know. So they really hurried up and rushed me upstairs. Like, I gave them my insurance card, my driver's license. My husband stayed down there to give them the rest of the information, and they hurried me upstairs to the triage area where they checked me, and I was only 3.5 centimeters dilated with a bulging bag of waters. They hooked me up to the monitors, and they saw that baby's heart rate was not good. It was decelerating with every contraction. They put oxygen on me and had me lay on my left side, and the left side did not help at all. So they tried my right side, and that was a little bit better, but it still wasn't great. So at that point, me and my husband were both thinking, I'm going to end up getting a C-section, which was, not something at all that I wanted or had planned or anything like that. I was just trying to breathe really deeply into the oxygen mask and relax and do whatever I could. My contractions had not slowed down, but I was actually getting a little bit more of a break in between them. And I was breathing through them really well. So they were getting my room ready, and finally they got my room ready and brought me into the room. I was able to roll over onto my bed, and they hooked me back up to everything. And by that point, the baby's heart rate had gotten a lot better, and they were able to take the monitors off me and take the oxygen mask off me. So they did that, and that's when I started to have a really bad contraction. I just remember being in so much pain, not getting a break at all. I was on the floor, off the floor, squatting on my hands and knees, just doing whatever I possibly could to get comfortable, but it just wasn't happening for me. Oh, I also forgot to mention, I had already started vomiting right before they wheeled me to my room. I started to vomit again, so they had to give me an IV, which I was okay with because I knew I couldn't keep fluids down at this point. So they gave me the IV, which was not even a problem because I was just so focused on my contractions and getting through them. So they gave me the IV, and my husband, I just remember him being like, you need to be careful, you're moving around so much, you're going to rip your IV out. And I didn't even care. I was just moving around so much. So they were going to go get the labor tub, but I was kind of thinking already about an epidural because I wasn't able to relax through my contractions anymore. It was just one big long contraction, and I was not getting any relief, could not get a break, was not able to breathe through them. I just was moving around trying to get comfortable, and it wasn't working. And I knew I could feel my body tensing up. I was not able to relax enough to open my body up and release. So they got the tub, and then by the time they got it in my room, I was like, I need an epidural. I can't do this. I just need an epidural so I can relax, let my body open. I can't do this. And while we were waiting, I was still having the same contraction, and the nurse was she was the sweetest nurse ever. She was so wonderful. She was super duper nice. She was like, what did you take? This is not a normal labor. things are not going the way they should be going. Like, I've never seen something like this. This is not normal. And she asked me, like, what did I take to induce my labor? And I told her I took castor oil. And she was like, yeah, that's what it is. That's why you're vomiting. That's why we can't control your vomiting. They tried giving me medicine to control it, and it wasn't working. I guess later on my husband was talking to the nurse and found out that my longest contraction was 51 minutes long. I wasn't getting any breaks in between my contractions. They were just like one big long contraction. That was 51 minutes long. So they called the anesthesiologist, and he finally got there, gave me the epidural, which I didn't even care about at this point. But I was like, please wait. Like, I didn't even realize at this point that I wasn't getting breaks. I was just in so much pain. So I was like, please wait, let me get through this contraction. Like, and then while I'm like in between contractions, while I'm getting a break, you can go ahead and give me the epidural. But the nurse was like, no. Like, I was like what? Like, I don't get a break? Like, my sister, they waited until she had her break and everything like that. And, I just thought that was like normal for them to wait in between contractions, and then they would start the epidural and everything like that. But she's like, no, we just need to do it right now. Like, I'm sorry, like, we can't wait. We just need to do it right now. And later on I found out it was because I wasn't getting any breaks, and they weren't able to, wait in the room for 51 minutes while my contraction ended, and they didn't even know if it was going to end or when I was going to get my next break. So they just had to go ahead and do it right away. So the nurse was super nice and helped me through it, and they did it and everything, and it didn't hurt. The thing that hurt the most was the numbing shot that they gave at first that really stung. But after that, it was totally fine. So they did that. At first, it didn't help at all. So they're like, okay, we'll give you 15 minutes. Like, I was still moaning through my contractions because they were still so painful, but they were 10 times less than what they were before, but it was still so painful that I had to moan through them. So 15 minutes later, the guy came back, and he put something in it, and it was like, he's like, you're gonna feel a cold feeling. And like, I felt this crazy cold feeling just rush like through like my shoulders, through my body. Like, it was the weirdest thing. It was like ice cold. It was just so weird. And about 15 minutes after he did that, I was feeling some relief, and I wasn't feeling my contractions anymore. So they came in. I did not want to do the catheter, but they came in to do the catheter, and they talked to me about a study they were doing. I decided not to participate in the study. I told her I really did not want the catheter. So she's like, okay, well, I'm going to go get the supplies, and I'm going to leave you here with a bedpan, and you're going to try and go pee by yourself. If you can pee by yourself, then you won't get the catheter. So she went and got the things. I tried to pee, I couldn't, and she came back about 15 minutes later and tried to put the catheter in, and mentioned kind of quietly, I can't put it in, it's time to have the baby, or something along the lines of, it's time to have the baby. And me and my husband were talking to each other, keeping me distracted from her doing the catheter, and we both heard her, but we both just kept talking. And then she said it a little louder, like, you're fully dilated, like, time to have the baby. And we were both just like, what? Like, it's been like 15 minutes. Like, I thought I was gonna be laboring the entire day, like, I'd be able to take a nap and, kind of relax and just wait for my body to open and dilate and relax and everything. And she was like, no, you're ready to push, like, you're 10 centimeters dilated already, like, time to go. She couldn't even get the catheter, and I didn't end up getting a catheter, and it was time to push. So she came back, and we did a few practice pushes, and I'm going to stop the video and start a short part 3, so I will be right back.